So this what you talking about? This funny?
Yeah, man. This might be actually one of the worst videos I've ever seen on the internet.
Actually,
that we're fun. Okay, not the worst, but it's up there. It's definitely up there. What's this guy name?
Louder with Crowder.
You know him?
Nah, I'm just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Louder Crowder. I do not know this guy at all.
1.2 million subs. He got 218,000 views in a day off this.
Yeah, man. So we were gonna react to the Conservative Twins. Do y'all know who that is?
No, the Hodge twins.
We were gonna watch their video, guys.
Me on the ranch.
But it looked like my boy Crowder had a little bit more information about this, and he had a guess. So I'm kind of more interested in this. So yeah, I've been telling you guys about this video. Let's go ahead and get into it, man.
I want to use this as a jumping off point. This went viral yesterday where there was a couple with their child being confronted by a very aggressive racist, which brings us to, well, first, our New York State of Crime. Okay, if you have kids, they should leave the room because it's a pretty rough video to watch, but everyone else is talking about it, and then I'd like to use it as a jumping off point to discuss kind of some changes that you may not be aware of culturally that have taken place that have racially divided you. And hey, you know what? Alex Jones was right. It's by design. So get your kids out of the room just because it's a little bit disturbing. 5, 4, 3, 2, roll clip.
Take them back to Europe with y'all. Gay ass gorilla looking. Ugly body. Nasty ass. You take Portugate. Shut up, your body don't even last long enough. I'm gonna look younger than him by the time he's my age. I don't care about the ugly ass kids in your race. Plastic ass body. Debilitated, innervated, emasculated people, incapacitated, indisposed, emaciated, attenuated, tenuous body. I don't care about you. Shut up, you white monkey.
Mr. Washington.
Dog. You're nothing over here. You are a dog. Shut up. I'm Black American. I'm over you.
Now, do you know?
Oh, shit! Oh, okay, pause that, bro.
Did I tell you that
Hey,
made
that might be the craziest shit I ever seen in my life.
Why you tweet out like that?
What
Fuck you.
terrible, man.
That's evil. That's evil.
Oh my God, bro. Okay.
That is pure.
Yeah, do y'all want to run it back one more time?
No.
All right, let's see what my guy got.
Don't.
Why was he tweeting out so good?
I don't know, bro.
He said, it's meant to pay.
I was messed up. I was like,
This nigga trying to use big words to make himself sound smart.
Maybe though.
In front of the
I
baby,
think he was talking about the baby.
he said he was gonna look the baby's age.
he said he gonna look like younger than him when he get married. That's terrible, bro.
Hey man.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Right.
Oh man, when I seen that, I was
bad.
That's evil,
yeah,
bro.
that's messed up, bro. Hey, that is racist.
You over here laughing,
Yeah.
boy.
Now it's just crazy, bro.
You
Like
doing that for somebody,
he just
kid?
really said, "I'm black. I'm over you."
Yeah.
What world does he live in?
Tweaking out, man.
Let's see what Crowder got to
A
say.
white
man.
monkey?
a white inarticulate has no mastery of the English language and made up words. Also, well, that's racist. No, I'm talking about that asshole right there. And he did. He called somebody a white monkey. Again, Ron Perlman, it would fit. That guy doesn't really look like a white monkey if the shoe were on the other foot. Not saying you should ever go out and call racial minorities or people of color, voters of color, monkeys. Of course you shouldn't. Neither should he. He made up words trying to sound articulate. And this is one thing that you guys need to know, okay? Having spent a lot of time, and we talked about this with the Hodge twins, if you go back and watch an old episode. Someone one time, let me tell you this story. Someone one time tried to steal my, I guess, dog Jack, back in the day, Hopper, before Joe Louis. It was in Oklahoma, stopping at the Choctaw Casino to fill up on gas. I'd driven across the country, get out, and he goes, "Hey man, that's my dog." I said, no, this is his name's Hopper. He's from Detroit. He's a rescue. He goes, "Man, that's my dog. You better give me my dog back. I know what it is. It's a Doggo Argentino. That's my dog." And I put him in my car, and I walked out, and I said, "No, he's not. I don't know what your problem is." He said, "That ain't even my dog, though." And he walked away. And the Hodge twins told me, they said, yeah. They said, it's something that we were taught to do young. They said, we call it white boy punkin'. we take the Sega Genesis and shit, take it all. They talked about how often a lot of young black men are taught that white men are passive and weak. And I saw this at the mall this week. I saw a group of black.
I'm sorry, bro. I gotta get the
That shit is
giggles
made
out.
up, bro.
I gotta get the
Who
giggles
the
out.
hell is teaching people that?
I gotta get the. No, a lot of people.
That's the
I ain't gonna lie, a lot of
bullshit
people
story I
are.
ever
A lot of people
heard.
in the hood, though, a lot of people are taught that white people are weak, though. I can't lie.
I see where he coming from, but that's not a taught thing. Like,
But not to take someone's
yeah,
dog,
you can
though.
punk a white boy, but ain't nobody.
Nah, people are taught that.
Ain't nobody taught that, bro.
Boy, my dad used to be like, when we used to lose to, I ain't gonna lie, I'm sorry. When we used to lose to white people, he used to be like, "Oh, that would never happened in my day, boy. The white boys coming to school, it's over with." He said, ain't no losing to no
I
white
did
man.
hear that, yeah.
That's what
My coach used to be like, well, look, bro, you ain't get scored on a white boy. Not a white, but that's different. But all right, bully and punk a white boy. That's
No, they used to say that, bro.
sports and bullying a white boy. That's two different things.
Bro, so you
never
got
heard
beat
that.
up by a white kid in the hood. Come on now.
Why would a white boy go in the hood?
That's white boys in the hood now. Come on now. I'm just saying, if a white boy
Is
came
that a
there and
white
beat
boy?
you up, it's gonna look pretty bad.
Why would he not be
and
white?
the hood ain't gonna accept you for that.
I see what you're saying, but in all seriousness, bro, no one ever been taught like, hey, we could just punk a white boy out of his belongings and material
I don't
things.
think-
Never heard that one.
I've never heard that either.
Y'all just made it so deep in here.
Hey, that voice he was making funny though. I ain't gonna lie. He was
That's
loud
that
for
person here
that.
from Black Dude.
Is Crowder like a comedian or something? All right, let him keep going. Let him go.
Women who were boisterous, I should say, and largely clothless. And they bumped a few people, right? They just bumped into a few people. And I watched another black gentleman with his wife. He was kind of bumped, and he just said, like, hey, watch where you're going. He said this to the black lady.
Yeah.
That same black lady was still on her phone. Bumped a white woman who was wearing a little, one of those little, like, kind of patchouli looking, looks like she would wear patchouli, but a beanie. And she went, and spoke to her husband, like, I guess because I need to check my privilege, guess what? We can't have a society that has one group of people believing that other people are weak and easily intimidated. Therefore, you should do it to right the wrongs of the past. And let me give you some more examples here. The media is rolling it. I don't know if you remember when Elon Musk, by the way, actually African-American, made news with this tweet where he said that the media is racist. For a very long time, U.S. media was racist against non-white people. Now they're racist against whites and Asians. Same thing has happened with elite colleges and high schools in America. Maybe they can try not being racist. Let's compare how the very same media covered the tweet. Everything he just said there, by the way, is factually verifiable. Asians at elite colleges, high schools in America. That is a fact. There are lawsuits that are being won. The media covered African-American Elon Musk's tweet with this. Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, Tesla, and Twitter, accused the media and elite colleges and high schools of being, quote, racist against white and Asian people, espousing his views without providing evidence on Sunday. Where could he have possibly pulled that stat, assholes? And by the way, I don't know if you saw this, remember the Rasmussen poll? They asked people, black people, if it's okay to be white. Only 53% of blacks agreed. 47% of black Americans, people of color, weren't sure. That is incredibly disconcerting. That means that there's a 50-50 shot when you're walking.
Black American sounds better.
Black American sounds way better.
Stop saying people of color. That sounds
I hate that
pretty
I ain't gonna
bad.
lie. I feel like African Americans sound the most.
But you're black though.
Okay, I'm talking
Who you
about
know in
black
Africa?
Americans. African Americans do sound pretty bad.
I don't like African American.
Yeah,
I feel like that's for people
Black
that's
Americans
from Africa.
sound bad too.
You tell
No, it
black,
doesn't.
black
You're black
Americans-
and you're American. You're a black American.
Yeah.
A black guy,
Yeah.
black woman.
So what sounds
Like
better, Taj?
when they people ask you, are you white or black, you don't
It's
say
like
I'm
we-
African American. You say
you-
I'm black.
so you like
why
people
does
of
black
color?
American sound bad?
Do you like people of color?
But doesn't people of color refer to like all
yeah,
black
yeah.
and brown people?
I just don't like that. I just don't like that.
I don't like that
terminology,
either.
personally.
So you consider yourself just being black?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you
But you like,
African American?
No. I'm
What do you
just
consider
saying.
yourself?
like-
And
We black, you know, so this black, you know what I'm
So
saying?
what are
What you saying?
Like,
I'd rather just be called brown.
black.
Brown, nigga, what? Brown Americans?
Brown Americans and black Americans.
brown Americans.
That sounds so
But you know,
much
there's
worse,
a
bro.
thing like black and brown people. Like that's a difference in that.
That sounds so much worse, bro. Chill. Bro.
You think it sounds worse?
Yes,
That
bro.
sounds
Chill.
So black feels kind of like,
I mean, bro, you're black.
I know I'm black,
black.
but
What
I know
did it
I'm
say
black.
on the job application? White, black.
They do say black.
So you're black
White
and
people are
American.
actually white.
Yeah.
But so, yeah.
If we're gonna call them, they're gonna call them pink.
Mr. Crowder, I like
Pink,
black
yeah.
Americans. Don't say people of color.
No, but
If you're
people of
referring to
color. But I'm
us.
saying people of color means like black and
Yeah,
brown
okay.
people.
Well, yeah, if he's referring to that, then that's okay. But if you're referring to black
I
people,
think people of color really could mean like any minority. Really.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that might be his point.
Down the streets right now, if you see a black American, there's a 50-50 shot that they don't know if they think you have the right to exist.
And that's what Scott Adams got into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to comment on that.
Yes.
Dude.
People need to know the roots of this. So, back when it was okay to be racist against black people 100 years ago, there was like 1 million KKK members, and they had giant marches in D.C. In about the 70s, there was, maybe 20,000 of them, and everybody dislikes them. The corporate media and the universities and everything on record to divide the country and, to basically bring the country down, know that the country's going to be a majority non-white, and so whether they're Latin American or whether they're people that are already here that are black that are Americans, the universities, the culture is teaching them, you've been screwed over, you've been wrong by this group of people.
Yeah.
And so literally it's the most racist thing on earth. The opposite of what Martin Luther King said, it was totally true. Judge people by what they do, what they create, what they stand for, and that's what we should be doing. But instead, no one is calling out the white leftists that are teaching this, the Hollywood, the media that promotes it, and then you're going to have a large minority of black people, a minority of that minority who are going to buy into this because they see it in the media, they believe it's normal. Now, when I see this Rasmussen poll, I don't believe that actual number. That's how they pitch it, that's how they skew it. But what it is white people will tell you, they've done polls, is it okay to be white? And they say, no, you can't wear that shirt. Like, I've seen similar numbers where the majority or close to it of white people won't say that. Or if you try to sell that shirt on a lot of shopping cart platforms, they'll take your thing away.
Wait, which shirt? A white shirt?
No, it's okay to be white.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So what I'm getting at is, I think that's black people with the political correctness. Some of them are racist. Some of them have, drunk the Kool-Aid and been brainwashed. But most of them are just like the white people bowing down to Black Lives Matter. They believe it's the right thing to say. Well, maybe it isn't good to be white.
It's a bully pulpit, and people are intimidated. And let me give you some stats here, just so you know how it has flipped. Like Alex was talking about.
They beat the chicken.
They've been successful with a lot of this. So in 2012, most people viewed race relations in America as positive. Black Americans viewing them as 66%. White Americans, 72%. By 2015, that's 3 years, the percentage had declined sharply. So we went from 66 with black Americans down to 51%.
And that was Obama and the corporate
Hold on, let me finish. It went even lower. With white Americans, it went from 72 to 45%. 72% viewed race relations favorably, down to 45%. Yes, like you said.
In fact, I interrupted. Maybe show the graphics again. I'm wrong. Go show.
No, you're right.
Those are important. Show them again.
But those are important so people can see the contrast, right? Black Americans went from 66 favorable to 51, which means not as sharp of a decline, which means that black Americans aren't buying the bullshit from the media as much as white Americans are, 72 down to 45. That's the problem. And so white Americans become passive and they become intimidated. And you know what the worst thing is if you actually want to interact on a day-to-day basis with black Americans and be able to have a friendly relation, is to not be intimidated, passive. You know what black men don't respect? Pussies. That's the truth.
Well, I don't think anybody likes that. I mean, look, that's what's happening. The left
but
literally
really
wants everybody.
They don't even like eating it.
Look, it's very simple. George Soros, I agree. George Soros and the globalists have put billions of dollars into Black Lives Matter to take over any type of black movements, to simply put a black face on the globalist agenda, and then tell everybody else, bow down to our agenda or you're racist. And it's not even a black agenda, but there are black people that are buying into the fact that white to simply put a black face on the globalist agenda and then tell everybody else, bow down to our agenda or you're racist, and it's not even a black agenda.
What do you mean
The left literally wants everybody.
They don't even like eating it.
Look, it's very simple. George Soros, I agree. George Soros and the globalists have put billions of dollars into Black Lives Matter to take over any type of black movements, to simply put a black face on the globalist agenda and then tell everybody else, bow down to our agenda or you're racist, and it's not even a black agenda. But there are black people that are buying into the fact that whites are inherently bad and getting in their face. And when people do that, people need to get back in their face and let them know that's not okay.
Well, here's something too, that when I was raised, I was raised in Canada, which is a silly place. But it was basically a post-racial America, Canada. Canada's like America Light, right? But then I noticed later on you would have kids trying to identify with the American ghetto. Like, for example, Drake is a buttersoft bitch from a nice, wealthy area of Toronto. Oh, wow. He played the Jewish kid on Degrassi who couldn't outrun the school shooter, and he had to wheel around like Stephen Hawking without the mouthpiece, and now he's talking like he's from Memphis. So there's a lot of there's this desire to be a part of a culture that, by the way, isn't necessarily indicative of actual black American culture. Oh, you're a white guy talking about this. Well, you know what? Don't take my word for it. Again, all references available at loudwithcrowder.com. Hey, when we were young, and even before that, you had the Jeffersons that went on for a very long time, right? But the Cosby Show, before he raped, 95 people allegedly.
But we just didn't know.
The process had started, but we didn't know.
Yeah.
Peak viewership, and I had to double check this, was at 62 million per episode. It was the #1 show in America for 5 seasons. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reached a peak viewership of 20 million per episode. It turned Will Smith into a movie star, right? Empire, though, now we fracture where everything, now it's white people watch this, and we create content for black people. It used to be, hey, everyone can watch it.
And now colleges are bringing segregation back.
Yes, but Empire, 17 million. Then it dropped to 2.9 million viewers for the
And
season
then Jussie
finale.
Smollett tried to get the ratings back up.
Think about it. We were a country that was so racist that our number one show was The Cosby Show. The number one show that we would watch would be The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Family Matters. You skipped over Step by Step. No one's a Patrick Duffy fan,
what did
but you
this?
saved it for Urkel.
And what did this? The globalist social engineers, it's all documented, literally put Obama in. He did get elected, very popular. People thought it was the promise of us all coming together. Instead, he creates major racial division. Hollywood produces all the movies.
Yep.
They opened all these wounds up to culturally control us now, and that's their agenda. The good news, as you said, is minorities more and more are actually rejecting it and going with people like Trump, but it is mainly white women, and I'm not attacking white people, but it's just true. It is white women, on average, who are the leftists, who are driving this cult. And so it's not about kissing black people's ass. The left claims that's what they want. No, it's about we own the black people. We own representing them. Do what we say or you're racist.
Right.
We have to reject this. It's ridiculous.
And to be clear, that's the media saying we own, just to be clear.
Right.
Someone's going to take a quote of, we own the black people, and they're going to try and use that.
No, I'm saying the left
never-
thinks they
Yes,
own.
no.
I mean, remember what
I'm
what
just
Biden
trying to
said?
save you from the out of
Remember
context.
what Biden said?
Yes.
If you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yeah.
From some weird, crazy pro-KKK guy?
Yeah, I know.
I'd be like, shut the hell up. Like, if you don't vote for me, you're not an American. I would immediately, if somebody told me, if you don't vote for me, you're not white, I'd be like, why are you making it racial?
Yeah, it doesn't
These
even make any
people,
sense.
all they do is obsess with race because it's a dying, out-of-control elite that's falling apart. The Democratic Party, the party of the KKK,
Yeah.
the party of Jim Crow, the party of racial division, the party of collapsing cities, the party of fraud and evil.
Absolutely, always. And they try and tell you, oh, the party switched. No, they didn't. Go do a little bit of actual research on Strom Thurmond, your only example. But I do agree with what he said about white women. Bitches ain't but hoes and tricks. What were we about to say, though?
I was going to say, when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, right, we've talked about this, we were watching this, like, it was never a thing. I was very, very low income, and so I had a very mixed school. I had a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Asians, a lot of blacks. All of us, we were fine.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of these problems.
They want you to believe that, again, it's a lie that you can't disprove. They go, you were fine. Well, no, the stats show that more black people thought they were fine. They say, you're white. It's easy for you to say
Well,
you're
let's
fine.
say this. There were some problems because I grew up in Dallas.
Of course.
But
So did I.
But let's be clear. It's a lot worse now, and
Yes.
the numbers show
It's
it.
far, far worse.
I was just watching the very first episode the other day of Sesame Street, and I actually want to show you a comparison of then, where nobody even thought twice, of people of all different races, where it didn't come up, hanging out with each other, and it was supposed to be a friendly street. Big Bird's head's a little bit weird. This is 1969, and then we'll compare it to now.
Sally, you've never seen a street like Sesame Street. Everything happens here. You're gonna love it. They play games. You say, hi, Bob.
Hi.
Say hello to Sally. She just moved into the neighborhood.
Hi, Sally. How
That's
are you?
Bob.
Nice to see you.
And then
Greetings, my friend.
That's
Hi,
Mr.
Mr. Hooper.
Hooper.
Oh, Mr. Hooper. This is dime for your paper. Thank you.
See, yes, come here, Mr. Hooper. Come here. Say hello to Sally.
Hello, Sally.
Sally's new. She just moved into the neighborhood.
Welcome, new Sally.
All right, that's enough.
Mr. Hooper.
Mr. Hooper he's kind of a dick. That is a child. You don't have to be so cold. Hello, welcome, Sally. Come on, Mr. Hooper. Put a little bit of effort into it. Let's compare it to Sesame Street explaining race. And by the way, that's so important because people don't know it was passive because it was real. People just wanted to put the racial tensions to bed. We're not perfect, but the way to move on.
Now they want to totally screw these kids up.
Well, here you go. Here's them comparing. Well, let's compare it to them explaining race now.
But if we all have melanin, why is Mr. Elijah's skin a darker brown than Russell's skin?
That's a good question, Amo. Well, it's because the more melanin you have, the darker your skin looks. The color of our skin is an important part of who we are.
Yeah, and then Nick Cannon guessed it and said, because if you don't have enough melanin, you got no soul.
Well, that is true about redheads.
Or ass.
I love redheads, by the way.
You love all.
By the way, I want to say something.
You're like the Jesus Christ of ladies.
I don't
Red and
believe we
yellow,
cover
black and white,
monkeys or
they're all
apes.
sexy. And
I don't believe we cover monkeys or apes, but humans are all of us somewhat look a little bit simian, and I don't look like a monkey. I kind of look like a gorilla. I even kind of walk like one of them. You notice so?
Sometimes you do. That's because you swam a lot. I thought it was a lat spread from
No,
all
it's
the
because I've got no Achilles over here, and I'm a little overweight.
Yeah, well, you know what
I kind of look like a penguin.
You know what your Achilles heel is?
Yes,
You love too much.
I do.
You love too deeply. That's been New York State of Crime.
All right, hey, go back to the clip one more time, brother. Go on, bro. One more, please.
No.
Why you like that?
I was kind of angry throughout the video. It was still hard remembering that.
I personally don't want to see that again.
Nah.
I've seen that dude go off on a black lady and an Asian woman before.
That's that guy?
Yeah, you can look it up. Same dude, the exact same dude.
So he just be on that train getting on people's ass.
He wasn't on the train. He was in the middle of the street one time, and the Asian lady and the black lady was outside the airport. Look it up. He called her a monkey. Oh, black lady a monkey. He said, you can't do shit, monkey. I got more money than you. You broke and you ugly. You broke ugly and you stink, monkey.
He called a black lady a monkey?
Yeah.
He might be trolling on some shit.
Then on the Asian lady, he was like, I'm better than you.
He might, y'all think he trolling?
You a monkey.
He could be trolling, bro. Why are you calling somebody a monkey?
I don't know, but you can look it up though.
That's
I believe you. But
what's his name?
I think he's trolling. He ain't got no damn name.
Oh, I have no idea.
But nah, bro, makes some great points, bro. Like, it's like almost like the white liberals, like the far white liberals, are really the problem. It's not like I think like they're pushing this agenda of like black people are like of this victim mindset and
they
doing
push a lot of agendas, and they like, oh, accept it or you. They throw labels on you. You racist, transphobe, homophobe.
Yeah,
it's all type of labels.
They attack your character if you don't agree with them.
Yeah,
I really
they try to
never.
label you.
Yeah, I never seen Joe Biden say that though.
You never seen that clip? It was on Breakfast Club.
I never seen
It was
that.
like a commercial.
So he said, if you don't.
He said, if you don't black for me, you not black. Yes, he said that for sure. 100% said
I
that.
never seen that shit.
He 100%
He said it multiple times. It was like part of his campaign.
He said on Black History Month, he said, I may be white, but this white boy ain't dumb. Addressing the black people.
And I remember they were even saying, like, honestly, he was very strategic in picking Kamala Harris. It wasn't that like, oh, Kamala Harris is, he was a huge fan of her work or anything like that. He knew he would get by getting a black woman, he would get the black vote. I mean, he was very strategic in that.
He woke up and said, you seen that?
Especially coming after all that black life.
He said Joe Biden tricked y'all, man.
Joe Biden got at the deal with how he said, I got the best plan ever.
Especially after all that George Floyd stuff and that Black Lives Matter, come right after that, after the summer, he's like, oh, I'm about to trick all these black folks.
He said, oh, they turned up in the cities. Oh, I need that.
He said, I'm about to beat Trump.
Well, man.
He really barely beat him though.
I guess it's everybody can be racist at this point. Yeah,
everybody can.
I never thought
Not
about
at this
that,
point,
man.
at any point.
Well, I won't say now. They've always been able to.
But I never thought that.
That's crazy.
You didn't think about it.
You just said you was targeted, man.
What?
Yeah, you just said all that shit you just said.
Yeah, I know, but like,
racist.
I never thought that white people could be.
Camelot.
Back then, I never thought
Country
white people.
Camelot.
I know white people. I never thought black people could be racist.
What?
You know? But like, I didn't think about it like that. This is what that's just what was so natural to me.
Oh wow.
Like
racism was natural.
My
We
friends
hated the
really-
whitest. We called him. We hated him.
Yeah, bro. No, I never thought about that. So I guess everybody could be racist.
Black Panther.
With the leather thing.
Yep, everybody can be racist. So let's stop it. All right, this was a great video though. I like these guys' show. They were pretty funny, man. If y'all want some more of them, let us know.